Shavua Tov, everyone, and I'd like to bring greetings from Congregation Beth Yam to Kehilat Birkat Shalom in Kibbutz Gezer. Thank you so much for watching this performance. We're happy to have you join us. We're looking forward to developing a great relationship with your congregation in the future. I bring greetings from my congregation to you, as well as to Rabbi Bernstein. Look forward to speaking with you this week. And we hope you had a great Purim. We did too. And we welcome you to this concert. David Kimball is our music director, and who is one of the most talented musicians I know. And we asked him to do this concert where he'll be playing over 6-7 instruments. We hope you enjoy it, and we look forward to working with you together in the future. And have a great Shavua Tov, a great week to all of you, and thanks for watching. Shalom and lehitraot.
Shalom. We welcome everyone to this extraordinary performance by CBY's music director, David Kimball, whose amazing music talent is evident as he plays 8 different instruments today. David would also be accompanied by Charlie Curtis. Before we get started, I want to join Rabbi Bloom, President Candy Solomon, and all of the members of Congregation Beth Yam in extending a very warm welcome to Rabbi Steve Bernstein and the membership of the Birkat Shalom Synagogue located in Kibbutz Gezer, Israel. They are watching and listening to this program from Israel today. This is our first shared experience in creating what we hope will be a great bond between our 2 synagogues. You know, music is central to both our synagogues, in our Shabbat services and in all of our celebrations. So it seems fitting that we begin our new relationship with today's musical program, aptly entitled, Music Makes Friends. So together, let us enjoy this amazing musical event performed for us today by David Kimball. David, it's all yours.
Where is he? He's gone. All right. Once again, the rabbi has this wonderful knack of putting me in situations. Thanks, Rabbi. Really appreciate it. Oh, boy, what a situation he's put me in today. Thanks in advance to Charlie. Yay, Charlie. And Garrett Kai's out there, who's actually running the show, such as it is. And we'll see what we can get going here for you. The rabbi asked for, he asked for Bach to the Beatles, among other things. So I guess that means we start with Bach. One of my favorite sayings is Bach for breakfast. One of my friends actually pretty much lives it, and it works. It's to be recommended. So some Bach for you. So people ask me what this is. What is that? I say, oh, it's an oboe. And they go, oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, that's an oboe? Well, no, not really. It's a mandolin, and it's a mandolin. I'll never forget the first time. Oh, some of my buddies were home from college, and we would get together and all drink beer and strum guitars. And my friend handed me a mandolin. He said, here, check this out. I could not put it down for 2 hours. It was like having a conversation with a long-lost friend. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I mentioned that to my grandmother, and she said, well, come up in the attic, because I want to give you something. I want to give you this mandolin, which used to belong to my father. And there he is up there. That's my great-grandfather. I never met him. That was taken in a studio, I think, around 1906. He also played violin and guitar. And now this isn't the mandolin in the picture. He's playing a European-style mandolin. Well, we affectionately, here in the States, we call them tater bugs. You know, the ones with the round back with the little strips of wood. They're very pretty. They sound different. This is an American mandolin with a flat back. The Americans pioneered this around the turn of the last century. They decided you couldn't hold a tater bug very well, but you can hold one of these. And so my grandmother gave it to me. And some other things besides, as we'll see. Thanks for putting that up, Garrett. Appreciate it. Let me see, what do we got? Many of you know Ed Seufer is one of our congregants here, and I cannot tell you, Ed, if you're watching, I cannot tell you how many times I have quoted you specifically. My friend Ed Seufer says that the violin represents the pinnacle of human creation. It's the greatest thing our culture has yet produced. An absolute thing of beauty, a perfect sound machine. The whole institution surrounding it represents, to Ed, the best we have to offer as a bunch of beings on earth. And I have trouble arguing with that. Thanks, Ed. I treasure that remark. So when I first came to Hilton Head, I was still playing it like this. You know, oh, what's that horrible song I had to learn? Never mind. But, you know, the bar crowd got a kick out of it. But when I came to Hilton, when I came in off the road, I resolved to learn how to play it right side up, and took lessons on it. And I had been taking lessons for, I don't know, a couple of months when I was asked to play this next piece at a memorial service. And so I tried playing it right side up, but I just wasn't confident enough yet. And I played it down here. It was up in a choir loft. Nobody could see me but the organist. Yeah. I can't even do it now. So that was sort of my first professional violin gig on Hilton Head, was playing Ashokan Farewell, which most of you recognize as the theme from the Civil War series. So let's see. How does it go? Man, I'm shaking. Thanks, Charlie. Yeah. And these instruments can smell fear, too. Charlie, you know that, right? When you're scared and the bow just starts skittering. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. So, what are the toys have I got here? Oh. Got this, right? So you ask the kids, what's the difference between a violin and a viola? What's the answer, Charlie?
Well, David, you know I've spent a lot of time at the conservatory, and I've spent a lot of time studying this, and it has been historically documented that a viola will hold more beer than a violin.
Yes, thank you. That is the answer. That is the answer. The viola is kind of the ugly duckling of the violin family. There's a couple of thousand viola jokes. Back in the 18th century, they would routinely make the best violinists the first violinists, and the worst ones, they would hand them a viola. And Mozart wrote several pieces. He didn't even bother to write a viola part. They just sit there and wait. Yeah. But there were some other composers, Bach and Handel, that I'm familiar with in particular, that really, they gave the viola really cool parts to play in the midst of everything, and they really respected what it could do. And God bless them. Of course, it's all written in alto clef, which is totally foreign to anybody else in the world. So I'm going to play a little old French piece, The Little French Boy. Where's the viola bow? And all these bows everywhere. I'll try that one. And this is sort of French Baroque music, which some of us are late in life developing a fascination for. My older brother is a composer out on the West Coast, and when he first started writing, it all sounded like Schoenberg. And now he just loves Rameau, and he's learning all this early French music, and he thinks it's the best thing. So, I don't know, I think he might be right. Early French music. Oh, 1 and 2. Sounds a little scratchy today, but it's my fault, not the violas. This is actually a rescue viola. You've heard of rescue dogs. Many of you have them. I have a rescue viola. This was in the trunk of a kid's car. He was on the way to the dump. And he said, hey, can you use this? And, it was missing some parts, and it looked kind of forlorn. And I said, this thing needs a home. So I took it to the violin shop and had it all fixed up, and it's not worth anything, but hey, it's been rescued. It's a mutt, actually. I'm told that the body was made in Taiwan and the neck in Japan, or is it the other way around? Doesn't matter. A rescued instrument. Highly recommended. Oh, what's next on our list? Oh, okay. So people say to me, they say, well, it's not that big of a deal switching back and forth because they all have a lot in common, don't they? And the answer to that is, yeah, not so much. And this one has nothing in common at all with the other ones up here. Well, for one thing, they all have European ancestors, and banjos originated in West Africa. It's tuned funny. It plays weird. It's got a high string on the wrong side, kind of like a ukulele, which is not a European instrument either. Most people, when they see this thing, they expect, wish I was on Rocky Top back in the Tennessee hills. But there's actually people who play all sorts of different kinds of music on this, and including Bob Leff. Bob, are you out there? You all know our congregant Bob Leff, taken a number of banjo lessons. And one of the things I do when I'm teaching is I'm constantly writing charts, writing new transcriptions for people. What do you want to play? And so Bob said he wanted to play the Basin Street Blues. I said, okay, we can do that. So thank goodness I found this. It took me a week and a half to find my banjo. I finally found this like the day before yesterday. It was right on the shelf, of course. The Basin Street Blues. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's for you, Bob. The Basin Street Blues. What's next on the docket? Oh my goodness. All right, well, I'm going to play some cocktail music for you. I know my Episcopalian friends have already started this time of day on a Sunday afternoon. So there's no harm in that. I consider joining you, but I'm working, so can't do it. So the rabbi said, oh, you got to play some Beatles, and I play a lot of Beatles one time or another. How about this one? Yeah. Usually I'm sitting in the corner and being ignored when I do that. It's just much easier. Not having just played a banjo, God knows what. So this is a family affair. I introduced you to my great-grandfather, my mother's mother's father, and I have to dedicate one to my mother. It was Mother's Day for me just a couple of weeks ago. I celebrate Mother's Day on her birthday. And my mother was a piano teacher, and she played in restaurants now and then and stuff like that. And I remember when I was little, I'd be upstairs trying to go to sleep, and she would be playing one of her favorite George Gershwin tunes, The Man I Love. So, yeah. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Yeah. So, Maury, that's your next tune. Yeah, you're the next one. You got to learn this. Janice she'd really like it. Yeah. So we got it covered. We had And I Love Her, and then The Man I Love. So we got equal time for the, never mind. My grandmother, I already introduced you to her. She gave me this mandolin. But years before, I got something else from her. When I started out on the piano when I was 5. I was the youngest of 3 kids, and they all took piano lessons when they were 5. So of course I was gonna, and I did. And I didn't keep it up though. And but when I turned 9, the school program, that was when you started taking musical instruments in school. And they said, well, what instrument do you want to play, David? And I said, I want to play the trombone. And they said, no, you don't. You want to play the cello. I said, no, I want to play the trombone. No, you don't. You want to play the cello. Well, what? Well, you see, your grandmother has a very fine old cello, and she would really like for you to have it. It would really please her if you would play it. And so why don't you start out on the cello, and if it works out, then you can have this fine old cello as your own. And it seems to have worked out on some level or another. It it's worked out. I don't know if you, no, they can't see it. You can't see the back from there, but it's a gorgeous instrument. Yeah. Worthy of a gorgeous piece of music, I decided to make Charlie earn his shekels here. And I put a whole bunch of notes in front of him. And he said, "Are you kidding?" I said, "No, I have the greatest faith in you." Cello bow up there. It's the Vocalise by Sergei Rachmaninoff, which should sound familiar to many of you. Cellist, it was not written for the cello, or at least Charlie tells me if it's a Vocalise, and I've heard it sung, I have, and
Originally for horn and orchestra,
horn and orchestra.
but I've heard different stories about that too.
Yeah, I don't doubt. Oh. So this was my first string instrument that before I started picking up all these other things. But people asked me, "Well, what's your principal instrument?" And I was like, "I don't know. I know you're supposed to have one. You're supposed to be excellent at anything. You're supposed to specialize." And I just didn't go that route. I just didn't want to specialize. So, you ready for some Rachmaninoff?
Let's rock.
Let's. You got it. gave it a shot. We sure did. Yeah. We sure did. All right, so I almost forgot during the course of the week that the rabbi had said, oh, you also have to sing. It's like, great. Okay, thanks, Rabbi. I have to sing something too. No? Okay. What on earth am I going to sing? And I pulled out this blues tune. Charlie hadn't heard it before, and he really likes it, so Charlie's a good judge of blues tunes. And it was written by Mose Allison, one of the jazz greats. He just passed away a couple of years ago. He lived his last many years right here on Hilton Head Island. We had Mose Allison right here on Hilton Head, and he played at the Jazz Corner a number of times. I never got to see him. I heard about it. I heard it was great. So we've already experienced some culture shock here this afternoon, going from one thing to the next. I think this is probably is this culture shock?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be culture shock. But, that's what happens. Come over to my house sometime, and if you put my music on scramble, it'll scramble your brain, because I did that to somebody one time, and they're like, please turn that off. No piece of music had anything whatsoever to do with the one before it or the one after it. So, sorry about that. So, a little blues, eh? I can't believe the things I'm seeing. I wonder about some things I've heard. Everybody crying mercy when they don't know the meaning of the word. A bad luck situation is sure enough getting worse. Everybody's crying justice, just as long as there's business first. Toe to toe, touch and go. Give a cheer, get your souvenir. People running round in circles, don't know what they're headed for. Everybody's crying peace on earth, just as soon as we win this war. Straight ahead, knock 'em dead. Pack your kit, choose your hypocrite. You don't have to go off Broadway to see something quite absurd. Everybody's crying mercy when they don't know the meaning of the word. Nobody knows the meaning of the word. Mose Allison. Kind of a quirky guy. you listen to some more of his stuff. Moses' idea of a love song was, your molecular structure stop the show. It was great stuff.
But he was married to, I think, one person and had a very, he was thought to be a very cerebral and well-respected jazz artist by a lot of people. Yeah.
Mhm. All right, we got one more instrument up here. Yeah. Got one more. And we're just going to play like 7 or 8 notes on it to say we're done. I don't like do bass solos or anything, but
David, don't you put that under your chin too, like the rest of the like
yeah.
Blazing
Oh,
Saddles kind of?
so I play this at the theater a lot in the pit orchestras over there, and you know you're onto something when the little kids come to the edge of the orchestra pit and they look down and they see this and they go, wow, that's so cool. Not making it up, it's happened to me at least 3 times, and I'm like, yes, I'm doing the right thing, inspiring the next generation. No, they're good. So we'll just play about 17 notes of Sweet Georgia Brown and call it a day. How's that? Okay. Well, 34 notes. So, and again, that's something I wrote for a student. Yeah, I don't even remember who or when or what. But that's all the instruments I brought, unless you got one. Oh yeah, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. What would it be, this one? We get along good, me and Charlie. Y'all have a great afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello to friends in many places, including Israel. So thanks for watching. And the next installment of our Sundays at 4 Music Makes Friends series will feature our very own Adriana Urado. You get to hear her sing in English, which she doesn't do that much up here, and some of the stuff that she likes to sing. So be watching for the press about that, and be there, all right? Thanks, everybody. Take care.